Good morning again. Sorry, gentlemen. Again, happened. Last video was broken. This started. I don't know what happened. Signals problem. It happens every time. I'm helpless. What to do? It's again same. I can't stop it. So I continue to have one in the stop. I was talking about that. There's no way out. You have to manage. So you can connect the last one. That is today's date and 295 talk. This is 295A. It's in continuation. I think you understand problem. I cannot talk what I talked on that. It's not possible. But okay, whatever it is, I think. How long it was, I even don't know how long it was. I can just think of how it was. Let me see if I can see where I was in that. I can't say where I was in that. It's still live there. It's showing live. It's showing only 1 minute or 2 minutes something. Really, it's nonsense. It's kind of stupidity, I can say. Still, it's moving. I don't know what it's doing. There it is. 57 minutes, I think it is. So let's move further. What to do? There is no way out. Life is that. You can't change it. Talk is same as I said. Civil field engineering, designs, construction methods, contracts, AnnexSL organizations, and all that. Again and again, I was talking of site preparations. I was talking of quality, and I was talking of site preparations, executions, crossing, site preparation. It was site preparation. Backfill for underground installations, fill grading and paving, testing laboratory, etc., etc. All these responsibilities go there. And safety, very important point, as I said. Start kind of toolbox talk. We do both ways. If you toolbox talks is more important. Sites is still construction because we have to demonstrate what you can do. Everything cannot be in writing, and it takes time. This is very big work, big activity. Hundreds of thousands of cubic meters, yeah, millions of cubic meters of work is done. You can't expect everything written card. So toolbox talks are directive ones. You have to use this. For example, you have to use X like this. You have to use tool. You may say machine. You have to use this. Operator has to know what's the best way to use it. Must have activity based in precautionary measures, and how you have to take care of preventing accidents. How people should be safe in that, and also what's the chances of caving in, and how you can use your spade or your shovel, hand shovel, whatever, how you can use your generator, how can you use your whatever tool you have. You can say it's some talking excavation only, so you have to talk about that tool, site preparation tools. You cannot diagnose everything, but where electrical supply is there, how to take care of that means whatever risks you think, a safety person or a civil engineer, whatever you think risks are involved, which we say job hazards are involved. We say hazards until we don't understand them. These are hazards, job hazards, we say. But once we understand them, there are no job hazards. These are solutions. Once we understand those hazards, which are unknown, but these hazards are not unknown when we understand and solve them, then it's called precautionary measures, we can say. We have to convert job hazard into protective measures. Either to can adopt protective measures, and then you can say risks-free activities, and hazards do not exist because we have analyzed those hazards. We understand how to protect from them ourselves. And this is also, you can say, occupational hazards, and there is industry measures under OSHA, occupational safety health, and also start card and toolbox stocks, whichever is best suited for that activity, for that work, must be done. Now, where excavation being carried out, or you can say it's carried out in authorized area where some authority works, some administration works, takes care of that area, where we have to take care accordingly. These safety issues are actually different world, of course, but it's a parallel world on construction sites. You cannot go unparalleled. Even in your office you sit, which may not be site office, which is on office, there's also safety involvement. And an example is fire or some emergency. You have to come out with what measures that you have to take, you should care of. Like means every access or ingress or egress should be obstruction free. No kind of obstruction should come in your way. Like that on sites also, it's complete free area for circulation, and we have to provide everything for traffic flow, smooth flow, and we have to provide PPs for everybody depending on whatever work they are doing, and hazards whatever we see, we have to resolve them, and then we have to adopt safety measures to tackle them, which may include provisions of signage, barriers, watchmen, and night lighting, etc. That's what is very important point. We must take care of that. It's not that easy as well as it's not that difficult both. You can say once you understand something, it doesn't remain difficult, but until you understand that, it's difficult. Means difficult in a sense that analysis is conducted, and that's difficult phase is that analysis that we conduct on something. Analysis, as always, it doesn't remain as problem. So problem, you can say, is not permanent. Solution can be permanent, and that solution may also be problem one time in future. You don't know, but until new problem comes into that solution, it is solution. Solution means it is dissolved. It is completely solved. Solution. Answer. It was very difficult. It was very concrete, solid problem when it was not solved. Now because we have solved that tight nut, so it's soft now. That solution. It may be said that where possible, hazards may arise from excavation activities. Necessary safety measures may be adopted, should be adopted to prevent accident or injury at all times during person's presence on site work. Hazards may arise anytime, and if we know them, of course, when we know, we solve it, shall solve it. Now, this may include provisions of signs, barriers, watchmen, night lighting, etc. Everybody who is inducted must be given training how to keep safe, and that is done on every project. When traffic is required to be diverted for requirement of work to cross some road, Permit must be issued and must be obtained from authority. That is regular law. You have to divert that that area of traffic, and you have to make some diversion statement, diversion plan, and attach with that method statement, and you apply along with that method statement for that permission. Permits to work are required for installation of safety equipment and for every activity that you do in that area. And you require some services knowledge, which can be scanning of existing services, can be conducted by suitable methods prior to excavation started. Of course, safety supervision is a very important point. We have to understand. A competent inspector shall visit, it says must visit, included area daily to assess safety measures which are being conducted, to make sure that those safety measures are okay for that purpose. And you find some defects and snags during that visit, this must be notified to working supervisor available, who can immediately act to bring adopted some safety measures to an acceptable standard. Now there may be some incidents in case of certain incident where utility is not identified, where utility is not identified, are discovered or damaged. All works must stop in that area, and operator, shift control and HSE department immediately notified. Now I am going to talk of survey. Smooth, there can be problem also. Everything is smooth in one way. Smooth doesn't mean permanently smooth, and problem also doesn't mean permanent problem. If something is not smooth, it can be made smooth temporarily or permanently. That's what we have to think. If you think everything is a problem forever, no, that's not true. Yes, there can be problem for instant success. When you think on that problem, because there is something wrong somewhere, that's why we call it a problem. We miss something somewhere, or naturally it is. We discover. So once we discover the problem, we understand the problem, and we can work on this and find solution. That happens. It's nothing new, I'm telling. We have to. What survey you have to think of? It is level survey, it is geographical survey, it's area survey, it is data survey. What survey? Or there are some services existing in that area. We have to locate them, that survey, which can be very difficult services like electrical, telephones, gas, oil, chemical, water, etc., whatever it is. Then there can be other obstructions as well during excavation other than these services. There may be hazardous material available here and there. Like that, there may be existing structures. There may be fences and developments which have to be demolished. And they have to obtain permit of everything that's required. How these obstructions to be removed from these existing elements, then how to handle that, how to tackle that. Otherwise, we have to discuss it with our clients or authority, and we see something is exposed fully, and how to handle existing soil, top soil, bottom soil. Then means whatever terrain we have to construct some access roads. We have to do something on that. This happens. What quality of soil we have, how and what level road we can build, what should be structure of that, how to compact that. Means should we have engineer related to soil, geotechnical engineer, and quality people. Of course, quality people come from same background of engineering. And how to take care of the soil from environment impact, wind impact. All this we have to take care. Means it's not necessary, means you can do it in parts, you can do it full, depends how many number of tests you conduct. Then we have to transport material from one place to other place and deposit somewhere. Fill there, level there, moisture there. Stockpilings are required. Means all these are required. There's a lot of work in that site preparation. Means you have to do everything what is required, which can give benefit of record as well as benefit of working. We can test also the strength of soil we excavated. We have in site, we can test it, or we can mix it with something else, some other material and test it. That is what we discussed. And I can't speak again word by word. If I find time, I speak at end, no problem. Then we say, survey is done accordingly. And there's ways to do survey. It defines same time with survey. When they come to production output, it's also a very important point. Means can't avoid that. It's an important one. That is what you say, verification exercise. Verification exercise for fill activity is conducted to establish economical and effective methods for fill activity in areas which are indicated below. Particularly, we move somewhere. That's about number one. You can say title is verification exercise for fill activity. Verification exercise for fill activity or a certain its strength. They will conduct to establish economical and effective method for fill activity which are indicated below. Let us see. This activity, important place fill to control areas of approximate size, as I said 25 meter wide and 100 to 150 meter long, we discussed. It can be different size as well. It's not necessary with taking the side, so the machine can move on that, tractor can move on that, other machines can move on that. Spread and level imported fill on whole step. Whole step means it's not simply means we have to import and fill to control areas, and spread and level imported fill on whole step. Add water to fill layer by passing water tanker over fill area. Over fill layer, right? Means we have to do that. We have to add water to fill layer by passing water tanker over fill layer. Means direct water, no pipe, nothing. Just take tanker and fill on that, because tanker can move on that strip is 25 meter wide and 100 meters long. Conveniently that tanker can move, so don't waste time. Just this mechanical work. Water tanker should pass over layer twice. Then can say add water to fill layer by passing water tanker, and water tanker should pass over layer twice. Twice is given, we can see is required more, very more. Now time gap of approximately 2 hours is allowed for water to soak into fill material, right? If it is graded material, not clay, and clay is not filled like that. Generally, we avoid clay. Clay is taken out when we actually replace clay by good materials, sandy material or something. Now, layer is now mixed with grider. That layer is mixed with grader. Grader means, grader machine until a uniform blend of moist material is achieved. Uniform blend of moist material. Blend, you understand what's blend here. Now additional water is added by passing water tanker over layer in a uniform sequence. That is, additional water is added. Or more water is added, you can say, not additional, more water is added. More water is added by passing water tanker over layer in a uniform sequence. A time period of approximately 1 hour is allowed for this water to soak into fill layer. We can say the time gap of approximately 2 hours was in first case, in time of 1 hour here. Time period of approximately 1 hour in this case, so that water is soaked in. Now fill layer is mixed again with grader, leaving fill level to correct grade. So that compacts fill layer uniformly. Testing of layers shall be conducted according to inline specification requirements. Can say then what equipment do we need for that? We need dozers and graders, vibrating drum rollers, dumper trucks, excavators and loaders, water tanker. These are minimum, we have used them. All these we used in this activity. Then there was nothing, we assume there was nothing prior to construction. A whole site was fit for preparation works. And such project is called green project. Once you are ready with site, means to some extent you can say all obstructions you have crossed, then you have to do something else. Now first of all, protection of services which are existing services protection. It's also a very important point. You have to protect services, all services. Purpose of this statement, so index is same, no change in index. Then statement purpose is define procedure that can be implemented for identification, protection and removal, location of existing services upon site, and references are same, and specifications are site preparation, fill grading and paving certain sections requiring record services within the specifications. Responsibilities are same as usual. Project site manager, construction superintendent, infrastructure superintendent, site engineer, geotechnical engineer, safety officer, general foreman, quality control, surveyor, personal protective equipment, like that. And responsibilities are also same. There's no major issue in that. I don't think any specific is there. And it says all the same responsibilities. Now this was general. Now there is specific responsibility in this. That is responsibility in addition to foregoing general descriptions. That's also an important point to comprehend. You have to comprehend that. And that is, project site manager to ensure that identification, protection, or removal, rerouting to existing services are conducted in a safe, methodical sequence as defined by this method statement as well as directed by relevant authorities. Again, I say it's an important statement. PSM, this project site manager, is to ensure that identification, protection, identified services you have to identify first. You have to protect it first. Identify it, protect it, or remove it, or reroute it to existing services in safe methodical sequence as defined by method statement as directed by that authority who is in charge of these services. In infrastructural, superintendent so that an earliest resolution is reached to existing services. Then you can say these services, you can say student shall accurately plot and can plot and record all services as well as So you can say a family can entertain someone else. It's not cast with someone else, you can entertain someone. That's what is said. And excavation is rightly carried out in all respects, in line to drawings, in line to specifications, in compliance with all safety procedures. So then, safety officer. Then you can say that you have to take care of safety further, and that's how. Again, same thing. Toolbox talk, start card, particular safety task, washer, permit to work. All we have to repeat. Safety supervision also in that way. As usual, same, there is no difference in that. Then you go to and say other part of this statement, and that's safety supervision, which is usual, snags and anything missing, whatever missing, then we have to see certain incidents which are not identified, we have to identify them. Then you go to methods. For existing record drawings provided by relevant authorities, controlling plant testing services shall be located and exposed by hand excavation as usual. Then we have to find drawings and records these drawings. Then we can say also whether existing services exist. It should be dispatched to the site through our, our, our operator. And there will be EPC contractor. EPC contractor, you know what is EPC? Great contractor representative shall request relevant authority to review vacated services, review excavate, where to excavate and the service existing. And this redundant service, okay, they will say remove. Now, look, where an existing live service remains, you can say working or serving during site preparation activity such as 33 kV electric cable, that existing live service shall be protected in compliance with regulations. Upon location of that service, you can say ST shall mark location upon ground using spray paint or small pegs. On both sides, it will be barricaded, or you can say nobody will be able to enter that area until this is, you know, declared safe. What's the point then? How to handle it then? That's the question here. Can we handle this? We have to protect that service. That's our responsibility. We have to indicate on where to cut corridor that. We have to provide all safety measures. And we have to provide temporary roads crossing existing cables. We have to do whatever is practically possible to protect until their instructions or client. So it's really astonishing that we have to understand all this. 10 meters around either side of routing, live services, we have to provide suitable safety measures, cards, signboards, exactly, within marked corridor, displayed at sufficient location, and we have to provide temporary roads if required. All that we have to provide in that area. It's very important that we have to keep that corridor safe of all obstructions. Very important point. We have to understand that. This safety is because that's live cable. How dangerous is that? We can't say. So we have to first contain that safety by provision of safety methods. We have to contain it first. That's first requirement. And then we have to take care further how to handle it according to instructions or requirements from operator, what operator requires. That is very much logical to handle the yeah. So we have to understand it, take care of this. We have to know nylon cord we can use, signboards we can use, we will put in there. On 10 meters round, nylon cord with warning tape streamers shall be strung. Nylon cord with warning tapes streamers shall be strung between posts to clearly indicate service and its route. Signboards that indicate service names, what exactly live service within marked corridor be displayed at sufficient location, conveniently within view along route. Where temporary roads cross existing cables, sufficient suitable fill material shall be placed on top of cables to afford adequate protection by distributing axle rolling safely. Where temporary roads cross existing cables, sufficient suitable fill material shall be placed on top of cables to afford adequate protection by distributing axle rods. Safety officer periodically check condition of barriers where necessary. Refurbishing is conducted. Then there are certain tools, excavation tools, survey equipment, pegs, nylon cord, warning tape that we require. Also, whatever records we have, we can say we want to reroute certain cable. Index is same, scope is defined procedure that can be implemented for rerouting certain cable, existing cable. You can say big one, 33,000 volts electric cable that crosses project site. This method statement includes location, excavation, isolation, say location first of all, then excavation, then isolation, then rerouting, then backfill. So many, say location, first of all identify where it is. You have to excavate that, you have to isolate it by disconnection, then reroute it, and then join again, test and backfill. Records and same type of designations, responsibilities. We are not going to repeat them. Additional responsibilities, which are very important from, if you add to existing previous responsibility, normal responsibility, you can say additional responsibilities. Project site manager to define, to ensure that the identification, protection or removal, rerouting to existing services are conducted in a safe methodical sequence as defined by this method statement, as well as directed by pertinent authority or relevant authority. Infrastructural superintendent shall investigate existing services with plant authorities so that an earliest resolution is raised and existing services are solved without causing any undue delay to prosecution of concerned sequence activity. Superintendent shall actually plot and record all existing as well as, if so required, to be delivered relevant services involved on site for reporting purpose. Then excavation is rightly carried out in all respects that site engineer to do in line with drawings and specifications and in compliance with all safety procedures. Then safety officials ensure excavation are safely carried out. And safety, I think it's same. There's nothing different here. Full safety standards to be abided by toolbox talk, start card, OSHA, all that, and same. Supervision is also same. There's no major shift. In case you can say supervision is in case certain accidents or accident, its utilities are not identified, discovered, and damaged, all work shall stop in area. And operator shift control and HSC department immediately informed to take care of that. Now there can be phone references, shift controller, emergency, whatever it is. And employees working in this easement area shall have a daily pre-task briefing that includes reporting of incidents, then methods of work and tools to be used, and potential hazards found in easement areas, approved work method statements, EPC contractor and civil contractor departments, such as a department, shall participate in presenting start card briefing, would monitor activities to ensure that work methods are being followed upon, and all personnel have an understanding about hazards associated with working adjacent to live process areas. Work permits are required for excavation. Work permit shall be posted on a mini board installed on site, to be noticeable to all persons involved. Barricades, cones, markers, night lights, floodlights, etc. shall be installed as required for complete safety. Flagsmen on all directions, in addition to traffic signboards. Flagmen shall be engaged to operate full time to direct traffic about excavation work in progress by waving flag signal for all vehicles passing by. And excavation to expose services be carried out manually. In case certain services not shown on record drawings, such as fiber optics, but is discovered, further excavation shall be ceased until a decision for employing hydro jetting method is taken up by plant authorities to be adopted for further excavation. Trench access means workers shall clearly be instructed to use only ladders, whether to enter in or ingress or get outgress of trench. Jumping not allowed. Workers engaged in operating, you can say, equipment, that is jackhammer, shall use protective glass and work in phases with pause intervals. Workers engaged jackhammer on operating jackhammer, this equipment shall be used with protective glass and work in phases only with rest pauses. Compressor air pressure shall be monitored from time to time so that hammer works smoothly. Compressor shall be placed within barricade limits. Machine excavation. Operators shall be explicitly instructed to abide by requirement of reverse signal and sound when operating reverse. Banksmen to be engaged when equipment is in operation. No violation of traffic rules allowed so as not to cause any accident. Toolbox talk. While conducting toolbox talks, a representative from authority shall be involved to witness and sign instruction imparted with workers. Prior to commencement of operations for record purpose, only English literate foremen shall be employed to work on excavation execution. Traffic management if required. Signboards keep up. All personnel shall be briefed about safe keep up of signboards, barricades, cones, markers, and night lights, floodlights shall be arranged as required for complete safety. No oil spillage shall be allowed. Sides of excavation shall be sloped with barriers placed on to indicate excavation work in progress. So there are certain points from flagsman, from excavation work permit, which is given for what flagman has to do, how hand excavation we have to do, how access to trench we have to do, what operation of jackhammer, machine excavation, toolbox stocks, traffic management, and we have to go on further prior to excavation of points or points where new cable is to be connected. New cable is to be connected to existing cable. Necessary permits to work shall be obtained from operating authority. EPC contractor method statement for conducting cable diversion shall be complied with. Existing route of cable 33 kV shall be identified, marked and barrier erected on either side, clearly defining route access site. Route proposed for new cable, new 33 kV cable or approved for construction drawings shall be identified, marked on site with pegs by ST, for which excavation shall commence to line and required level. When excavation be reached to required level, appropriate sandbed shall be placed within trench. New cable supplied by EPC contractor shall be laid into trench in line according to approved methods and standards. That would include placing of cable drums on a cable trolley. Cable drums on a cable trolley and rollers. It says new cable supplied by EPC contractor shall be laid into trench in line according to drawing methods and standards. That include placing of cable drum on a cable trolley and rollers. Cable shall be unwound from cable drum by pulling to standard methods of pulling. If required, a cable tugger a cable tugger fitted with load cell control may be utilized. New cable shall be correctly placed to line and level upon repair sandbed. Wherever joints occur, sufficient cable overlap to allow for jointing be provided. Installation value of new cable shall be tested by 5 kV motorized megger. Upon EPC contractor, electrical engineer approval, cable shall be covered with dune sand to required thickness evenly. Cable tiles shall be placed on top of sand cover above new cable. Trench shall be backfilled with approved material meeting specifications. Backfill activity shall continue until trench is completely filled. Route markers shall be placed with splice joints. Locations surveyed and recorded. Where joints occur to cable, either at two termination points with old cable or along length of new cable, same technique shall be adopted. I repeat, where joints occur into cable either at two termination points with old cable or along length of new cable, same technique shall be adopted. Where joints occur to cable either at two termination point with old cable or along length of new cable, same technique shall be adopted. An experienced cable jointer under supervision of an electrical engineer shall conduct all cable jointing work. Approved jointing kits shall be utilized for cable jointing activities. Manufacturer's recommendations relating to installation of these jointing kits shall be complied with. Upon completion of jointing of new cable length, entire length of new cable shall be tested. Upon completion of jointing of new cable length, entire length of new cable shall be tested. Cable shall be subject to pressure test of 67 kV DC for 15 minutes on cable between each core and earth. Remaining cores shall be connected to earth. What it says, cable shall be subject to pressure test of 67,000 volts DC for 15 minutes on cable between each core and earth. Remaining cores shall be connected to earth. Engineer shall measure leakage current, which all the readings shall be recorded upon appropriate form. Cable testing shall be witnessed by EPC contractor, engineer. Old cable shall be hand dug. Excavated, and an area sufficient to conduct jointing cable should be excavated. Electrical engineer in coordination with EPC contractor engineer shall ensure that old cables are identified and isolated under supervision of refinery supervisor within appropriate substation. Necessary electrical earth and isolation to cables shall be conducted prior to commencement of joining old cable to new cable. Cable shall be jointed in same manner as described previously. Once old new cable has been joined, these shall be tested by mega test 5000 volt and HV test at 3 kV DC to establish its integrity and insulation. Disbanded cable shall be removed from new joint cable by excavating and rolling cable. New cable route corridor shall be covered with sand, cable tiles and backfill material. Upon completion of cable testing activities, refinery electrical engineer shall authorize energizing of new cable route. Disbanded cable route shall be excavated to expose old cable. Old cable shall be removed onto surplus cable drums from which new cable was coiled. These drums shall be stored on site for EPC contractor disposal. A program to be developed by all parties of power outage windows shall be produced for tying activities of cables. Tying activities, in which case excavator is equipment, excavator, drum trucks, dump trucks, cable drum trolley, cable trolleys, cable tugger with load cells. Attachment is contractor standard method statement for cable diversion. This statement may be submitted by civil works contractor on behalf of EPC. EPC standard method statement is required to be attached. So this is very important method. It's prior to excavation of points where new cable is to be conducted to existing cable. Necessary permits to work shall be obtained, and then you can have some more reading here. Better read for 5-10 minutes in a way that it's better for to understand. Everyone can do it better, I think. And meanwhile, just take 5 minutes here. I'll be back in 5 minutes. It's better. To understand this, it's a very important point. It's very, very important point to understand this. You can read this. It's not harmful, it's better. It's because electrical cable is shifting. That's the important point. Okay. Shanti. So you must have gone through this very well. I think it's okay. Let's move further on concrete pipe culverts. On concrete pipe culverts, we have to move further. That is scope, reference, documents, definitions, responsibilities, safety methods, equipment adjustments, all same. All same. There's nothing different as far as this is concerned. It's all same. We have to further move on this in a view to just think that purpose is to define sequence and methodology for laying, jointing and testing concrete pipe culverts. Concrete pipe culverts, you know them, maybe you know very clearly. Concrete pipe culverts I'm talking of. That is, references, documents or specifications and drawings are not named in. Definitions of titles are same. Then, of course, I repeat only these designations. Project Site Manager means PSM. CSM stands for Construction Site Manager. CS stands for Construction Superintendent or Project Supervising Engineer. IS stands for Infrastructure Superintendent. SC stands for Site Engineer. GE stands for Geotechnical Engineer. SO stands for Safety Officer. GFM stands for General Foreman. FM stands for Foreman. QC stands for Quality Controls. S stands for Surveyor. PP stands for Personal Protective Equipment. And these responsibilities, I don't want to repeat them. No need. But it's better once you report so that you refresh, no problem. PSM shall ensure that site preparation activities are carried out in line according to project specifications within a specified time and within budget costs, since PSM is responsible contractually for project site prosecution on an overall basis. PSM shall manage to procure all required resources for relevant activities. PSM shall control overall operations, respecting all activities in all respects, being an organization agent. CSM shall arrange resources required accordingly and act overall responsible for excavation operation, directly reporting to PSM. CS shall control. CS means Construction Superintendent shall control, monitor and direct SE, GFM, FM and workforce for relevant activities. G shall ensure activities are conducted in line according to project specifications and this method statement. SE shall be responsible for all site activities and follow instructions of CS and CM. Whatever mishap on excavation operations shall immediately be notified to CS and CM by SC for immediate action if required for either possible remedy or a record for authority review, whatsoever a case it may be. IS shall ensure that site preparation activities are carried out in line according to this method statement, as well as complying with contract project specifications. GFM, General Foreman, shall be responsible for whole lot of workforce available on site for distribution, extraction of output, redeployment, supervision and controls. General Foreman shall ensure that required workforce should be allotted to respective sites every day during morning time, depending on various activities in which connection, a coordination, interaction with site engineers, supervisors, construction manager, construction superintendent, etc. shall be required continuously. General foreman shall also ensure that required equipments are available on sites during activities. GFM shall every day report all actions to CM, CS and engineers. FM shall execute operations. FM shall execute operations, deploying workforce and explain in full in language work persons understand about all instructions and toolbox talks every day, and ensuring that instructions are followed by workers regularly. QC, quality control, shall inspect all operations required to be effective according to specifications and in line to ITP's requirements. Superintendent shall ensure that all surveys are conducted to requirements with all benchmarks and grid coordinates located on requirements as well. All surveys recorded for submission. Then safety officer shall ensure that all safety requirements are complied with, met by site personnel. EPC contractor shall conduct surveillance over all ongoing activities all days, as well as ensure that inspections are conducted regularly by engineers and client. Additional responsibilities. S shall accurately plot and record all as-built marks respecting bedding pipes and finished ground. Site engineer shall ensure that excavation is rightly carried out in all respects in line to drawings and specifications and in compliance with all safety standard procedures. Such safety officers shall ensure that excavations are safely carried out and equipment operators complied with safety procedures. Again, it is safety and same, you can say what we discussed about start card, toolbox talks and OSHA, and whatever is required is to be done. Hazards etc. is typical. Supervision is also same. Now it's methods. Let's discuss sketch 25. Let us see what sketch 25 says. I'll chart out the sketch first of all. Sketch 25 in this sketch 25. I have to find out manage. Sketch 25. What is that? Okay. Let's open this. I think it's same. Okay, sketch 25. Let's open this. See what we are talking about. See what it is. All right, we got it. Now, setting out. Edge coordinates of pipe shall be calculated from information on drawings as well as allowing for 1:1.5 slope. 1:1.5 slope and fixed in such a way that full length of pipes are used without pipe cutting. Center line and actual width shall be marked on ground. We can refer to sketch 25. Now trench shall be excavated to correct width, length and formation by using a hydraulic backhoe. Once bulk excavation is completed, wooden pegs be inserted showing elevations marked on them to guide incomplete excavation, to define formation level. Formation shall be watered and compacted using plate compactor to achieve compaction to 90% MDD, meeting in accordance with specifications. This is medium dry density. Compacted formation shall be inspected, field compaction tested prior to commencement of bedding activity. Once excavation is complete and approved, bedding material shall be placed to a thickness of 150 mm, watered and compacted, meeting in compliance with specifications. Compacted surface shall be inspected, tested and approved. Pipe work. Socket position shall be set out on prepared bed. Manual excavation to be carried out for socket portion, ensuring that barrel of pipe rests firmly on bedding. Barrel of pipe. Concrete pipes shall be transported from store location of trench and gently lowered into trenches with a crane using belt slings only. Belt slings, no chain strings, because this is circular pipe. We can't erode surface of this barrel, external surface of this barrel. It should also be ensure that spigot ends remain clean to same standards as per original while installing gaskets. Spigot end of pipes shall be cleaned using a cloth with a special care taken to clean recesses, which should be lubricated with liquid soap, following which gasket placed in position. Spigot end of pipes shall be cleaned. Spigot ends of pipes shall be cleaned using a cloth with special care taken to clean recesses, which should be lubricated with liquid soap, following which gasket placed in position. Socket ends shall be placed upstreams, while pipes should be laid back to correct orientation. Support shall be placed in one end. Support shall be placed at one end, while spigot should be so placed that gasket remains in contact with entry tapper or bevel at socket even on circumference. Support shall be placed at one end, while spigot should be so placed that gasket remains in contact with entry taper or bevel at rock socket and even in circumference. Spigot shall then be drawn into socket. Spigot shall then be drawn into socket using 5-ton therefore equipment. Upon completion of jointing operation, bedding material shall be packed below pipes so that barrel rests firmly on bedding and pipe doesn't move. Top elevation of pipe shall be checked to ensure that pipe laid is accurately placed to correct alignment and elevations. Then you can say, upon completion of jointing operations, bedding material shall be packed below pipes so that barrel rests firmly on bedding and pipe doesn't move. Top elevation of pipe shall be checked to ensure that laid pipe is accurately placed to correct alignment and elevations. Procedure operations shall be repeated until all pipes are so laid. Complete pipe work shall be inspected and approved. Each joint shall be visually inspected from inside pipe if accessible. Once again I read this important point. Socket position shall be set out on prepared bedding. Manual excavation shall be carried out for socket portion, ensuring that barrel of pipe rests firmly on bedding. Concrete pipe shall be transported from store to location of trench and gently lowered into trenches with crane using belt slings only. Once pipes have been linked to true gradient alignment, when pipes have been linked to gradient alignment, once pipes have been linked to true gradient and alignment as described, bedding material shall be carefully placed along sides and in between pipes by using a backhoe. Bedding and surrounded material shall be placed in layers, watered and compacted until surrounding material reaches 300 mm above top of pipe. Repeat, once pipes have been laid to true gradient and alignment as described above, bedding material shall be carefully placed along sides and in between pipes by using a backhoe. Bedding and surrounding material shall be placed in layers, watered and compacted until surrounding material reaches 300 mm above top of pipe. Excavated suitable material shall then be used for backfilling in 200 or 150 mm compacted layers, inspected and tested until backfilling operations are completed. A list of do's and don'ts provided by manufacturers is attached herewith. That is for pipe safety, pipe handling. In this case, equivalent to a 20 tons crane, that is one number, flat bed trailer, part-time, that is not full-time, spring pipe, that is flat bed trailer, excavator backhoe, and 5-ton trifog, two numbers, forklift, part-time, plate compactor, one number, water tanker, part-time. Workers, foreman 1, pipe fitter 2, and workers 4 numbers, you can say. Pure workers manufactures data sheet respecting pipe. Culvert crossing to avenue and main highway. Culvert crossings. Index no need. Scope is to define sequence and methodologies for excavation, placement of culvert pipes, backfill and reinstatements to culvert crossing on avenue, whatever avenue, and main highway next to retention period pond. So definitions are same, 1 to 12. Responsibilities are of course completely same. Then some additional responsibility, which is that surveyor, assistants for surveyor shall accurately plot and record all as-built marks respecting bedding pipes, asphalt and finished ground. Site engineer and superintendent or surveyor or site engineer and safety officer shall ensure that traffic diversion works well from safety viewpoint. Site engineer shall ensure that excavation is rightly carried out in all respects in line to drawings and specifications and in compliance with all safety procedures. Safety officer shall ensure that excavations are safely carried out. Safety officer shall ensure that equipment operators comply with safe procedures. Safety officer shall ensure that vehicles on highway are not impeded from smooth movement. Projects safety manager, project site manager shall ensure regarding work involving highways, police or concerned authority is informed in time for assisting controls. Now, same start car toolbox and OSHA permit to work and in case excavation has to be carried out in operating area, then regular precautions and strictly they have to affect the full safety standards. Then only specifically approved mechanical equipment, third party certified, whilst locating these services be used. Where appropriate, only manual excavation be carried out to investigate, expose existing either plant services or other services that may cause sudden chain damage or breakdown. Should excavation be effected without investigation. Safety officers shall ensure that persons being inducted on site are well aware of adopting rightly suitable safety procedures to be implemented on site. Then we have to see that something very important point I have to find in this. That's really so take out from here. How we take out this. Sorry, actually, this point, where is that this point? सारे खुले नहीं यार कौन चक्कर है सारा हम खुले हैं okay. Alright, then you can say I say only specifically approved mechanism. Then is all persons available upon site shall wear PPEs to them. Then generally where appropriate, only manual excavation shall be carried out to investigate, expose as either plant service or other services that may cause certain damage or breakdown. Should excavation be effective without investigation. Then safety officials ensure that persons being inducted on site are well aware of adopting rightly suitable safety procedures to be implemented on the site for activity concerned. Then all persons available on site shall wear PPE issued to them. Where possible, hazards may arise from excavation activities. Necessary safety measures shall be adopted to prevent accident or injury at all times during person's presence on site work. This may include provisions of signage, barriers, watchmen, and night lighting. When traffic is required to be diverted for requirements for necessity of to cross some road, permit to work shall be obtained, supported by detailed method statements, including detailed traffic diversion plan with all other working details. Scanning of existing services shall be conducted by suitable methods prior to excavation is commenced with. I repeat these important points, which is same as before, in case that is different word, it's highways. I'm repeating. Prior to commencement of whatever activity, work shall receive a start card, toolbox top, process involved in particular safety tasks shall be calculated by conducting job hazard assessment and necessary protective measures adopted to address risk issue. Included measures should comply with real requirement standard as accepted or recognized by industry, occupational safety health assessment. Permit to work, permits to work and installation safety equipment shall be obtained prior to respective activity commencement. In case excavation has to be carried out on operating authority area, all regulatory precautions shall be strictly adhered to, affect full safety standard. Only specifically approved mechanical equipment, third party certified whilst locating these services shall be used. Generally, where appropriate, only manual excavation shall be carried out to investigate, expose existing either plant services or other services that may cause sudden damage or breakdown should excavation be effected without investigation. Important, where appropriate, generally it is only manual excavation shall be carried out to investigate, expose existing either plant services or other services that may cause sudden damage or breakdown should excavation be effected without investigation. SO shall ensure that persons being inducted on site are well aware of adopting right suitable safety procedure that is required to be implemented on site for activity concerned. All persons available on site shall wear PPE issued to them. Where possible, hazards may arise from excavation activities. Necessary safety measures shall be adopted to prevent accident or injury at all times during personnel's presence on site work. This may include provisions of signage, barriers, watchmen, and night lighting. Provisions of signage, barriers, watchmen, and night lighting. When traffic is required to be diverted, for requirement to cross some road, permit to work shall be obtained, supported by detailed method statement, including detailed traffic diversion plan with all other working details. Scanning of existing services shall be conducted by suitable methods prior to excavation is commenced with. A competent inspector shall visit included area daily to assess safety measures adopted. Snags observed during visit shall be notified to supervisor present, who immediately would act to bring adopted safety measures to an acceptable standard. In case of certain incident where utilities not identified are discovered or damaged, All work shall stop in area and operator shift controller and HSE department immediately notified. Emergency number should be given. Now, employers working in easement area shall have daily pre-task briefing, reporting of incidents, method of work, tools to be used, potential hazards found in easement areas, approved work method statements, EPC contractor and civil contractor. HSC department shall participate in presenting start card briefing, would monitor activities to ensure that work methods are being followed and all personnel have an understanding about hazards associated with working adjacent to live process area. Excavation work permit. A copy of work permit shall be posted on a minimum board installed on site to be noticeable to all persons involved. Barricades, cones, markers, night lights and floodlights shall be installed as required for complete safety. Flagsmen on all directions. In addition to traffic signboards, flagsmen shall be engaged to operate full time to direct traffic about excavation work in progress by waving flag signal for all vehicles passing by. Hand excavation. Excavation to expose services shall be carried out manually in case certain services not shown on drawings. Record drawings such as fiber optics, but it is discovered that further excavation shall be ceased until a decision for employing hydro jetting method is taken up by plant authorities to be adopted for further excavation. Access to trench. Workers shall clearly be instructed to use only ladders, whether to enter in or egress or get out. Egress of trench, no jumping allowed. Jackhammer. Workers engaged on operating shall use protective glass and work in phases with pause intervals. Compressor pressure shall be monitored from time to time so that hammer works smoothly. Compressor shall be placed within barricade limits. Machine excavation. Operators, divers shall be explicitly instructed to abide by requirement of reversal signals and sound when operating reverse. Banksmen shall be engaged when equipment is in operation. No violation of traffic rules permitted so as not to cause any accident. Toolbox talks. While conducting toolbox talks, a representative from authority shall be involved to witness and sign instruction imparted with workers prior to commencement of operations for records of purpose. While conducting toolbox talk, a representative from authority shall be involved to witness and sign instruction imparted with workers prior to commencement of operations for record purpose. Only English literate foremen shall be applied to work on excavation. Execution. Traffic management. Signboards keep up all personnel shall be briefed about safe keep up of signboards. Barricades, cones, markers and night lights, floodlights shall be arranged as required for a complete safety. No oil spillage shall be allowed. Sides of excavation shall be sloped with barriers. Placed on to indicate excavation work is in progress. Deep trenches. Since proposed excavation is considerably wide and deep, all safety measures shall be resorted to and if required, Shoring shall be provided to prevent caving in. Trench depth being more than 1200 mm. Adequate means of exits such as either aluminum ladder or steps shall be provided and located not more than 8 meters of lateral travel. Existing services. 2-number electric poles and other various categories of about 8 to 10 number running services ducts, cable, etc. shall be properly diverted according to regulatory requirements and preserved until reinstated. Precast members. Precast members. Since precast culvert units, covers and sleepers are heavy in load, proper care has to be exercised during raising and downing or handling to exact locations, strictly adhering to relevant safety measures. Now is a method, sketch 17. I like to find this sketch for you people. It's also an important sketch in addition to previous sketches. This was for other one was quality, this is here, and then it was, let's see. So let me find this sketch number 17 for your reference, which is important one here in this case, sketch 17. I'll find, then I'll record and then go to Suraj here, go to management, go to method statements, go to chapters, go to sketches, go to management sketches, go to investment sketches, 17. Come on, yaar. 17. So this is that RCC box culvert. Side elevation. This is RCC box culvert longitudinally. This is 2 meter units here. This is interlock here. This is road. This is road. And this is box culvert. This is plan RC box culvert single unit. So this is road here. This is section here. You can see what section says. This is steps of this here. This is your section here, and it is sleepers in for these pipes. These are sleepers for these pipes. Is resting on these sleepers or this box culvert. Continuous here like this. This is backfill, and then this road very step. Now very clear. RCC box culvert resting on pipe sleepers, and this is what is here. You know, see section. This is of course. So we are working here. This we are doing. See how we are working, and so it's very easy, I think. 2 meters boxes units. So what it says, let us see. This is interlock here. Each pipe culvert is interlocked. Backfill here, this road. This is, I think it's easy, it's not difficult one. I think it is difficult one. Let us see how it works. It works now. You can see this there, and it is here. Sketch 17. So what is sketch 17 now is saying? What it says Route of culvert trench shall be set out by surveyor complying to details of coordinates provided on design drawings that we have seen where route is. And we know these coordinates, which means coordinates, what I have to say. These coordinates means this is coordinate here, we know this. This coordinates here and there. This is section, this one at Pontico Road is there, so we can find that. We can do that. It's no problem. So routes of culvert trench shall be set out by surveyor complying to details of coordinates provided on drawings. Provided on drawings. Routes of culvert trench shall be set out by surveyor complying to details of coordinates provided on design drawings. That's okay. We will go this way and we're talking about quality, so that's okay. Existing services such as fiber optic cable shall be located and protected. Cable shall be supported. Why this is putting off all the time? I don't know reason for that. Cable shall be supported across excavation placed within a PVC duct. Cable shall be supported across excavation placed within PVC duct wrapped with polythene and tied to support. Traffic diversion scheme with all signs installed shall be implemented in line according to attachment and monitored regularly by safety department to ensure smooth traffic management. I not include that one. Concrete barriers shall be placed at head of diversion. Concrete barriers, big one we say, we shall be placed at head of diversion. Ditch alongside of diversion shall be barricaded with nylon rope bearing warning tape. Initial excavation shall commence at drainage ditch to west side and extend across Avenue E up to fiber optics cable location. So this is just name and size. Don't be voice to guys, you write it down. Trench shall be excavated using appropriate equipment while dump trucks collect surplus excavated earth to be removed from site to spoil area. Material that is to be reused shall be stockpiled. Excavated asphalt shall be deposited at tip area in pre-agreed location. Damage to existing asphalt shall be repaired during reinstatement operation. Sides of excavation shall be sloped. Where excavation depth exceeds 1.2 meters. Ladder shall be provided for ingress and egress of excavation. Ladder shall be located every 8 meters if so required, depending on length of excavation. A banksman shall be provided to monitor excavation. Machine operations. Bottom of excavated trench shall be inspected by contractor's engineer EPC prior to compaction activity commences. All unsuitable material shall be removed from site and disposed of to some approved location. Inspection and testing of compaction shall be conducted by site testing laboratory. Field density test results shall be submitted for approval and records. Surveyor shall monitor line and level of excavation regularly and provide level pins for pipe pavings. Approved bedding material shall be placed and compacted to required levels and density values. Site testing laboratory shall conduct field density tests and reported accordingly. Concrete culvert pipe shall be placed directly correctly to line and level as shown in IFC drawings. Culvert pipes, concrete culvert pipes shall be placed correctly to line and level. Pipes shall be inspected for damage prior to replacement. Prior to placement for no damage, pipes can be placed. Disfigured head on culvert pipe. Disfigured head on culvert pipe shall be on upstream end of pipes. A pipe of nylon strap shall be used. A pair of nylon strap shall be used to lift pipes. Nylon strap shall be used to lift pipes using a 50-ton crane and place pipe correctly into trench. Backfill material shall be placed around pipes in layers 150 mm thick, duly compacted and tested by laboratory. Backfill operation shall continue up to existing road formation level. When backfill activity is completed, asphalt repair to existing highway shall be conducted and avenue road construction be reinstated. Traffic management scheme shall be removed to allow reuse of avenue. A temporary security fence outside existing R&D area shall be erected to allow culvert construction to continue east towards the retention period. Temporary security fence shall be erected. Temporary security fence shall be erected to agreement requirement of security police. Temporary security fence shall be erected to agreement requirement of security police. When this activity is completed and approved by security police, existing security fence can be cut and rolled back sufficiently to allow construction activities to be conducted. Next section for culvert. Trench shall be excavated, taking care of where existing surfaces have been exposed to be well protected. Trench formation shall be inspected, compacted and tested as previously described. Pipe bedding shall be placed. Pipe bedding shall be placed, compacted and tested as previously prescribed. Pipes shall be installed within trench after inspection for transit damage is complete. Backfill around pipe shall be placed, compacted and tested. Backfill shall be reinstated above pipe surround up to existing ground level. Reinstatement of all existing services shall be done. Fiber optical cable shall be left protected by PVC duct and polythene sheet, then surrounded with concrete. Existing security fence shall be replaced. Existing bed fabric shall be re-erected onto existing poles, which should be concreted in position. Existing fabric shall be re-erected onto cross existing poles, which should be reconsidered in position. Barbed wire shall be replaced. Barbed wire shall be replaced using new material where required. Temporary security fence shall be removed. Final section of culvert trench shall be set out and excavated in some sequence as previously given. Compaction and testing of pipe bedding shall be carried out. Placement of pipes to correct lines and levels shall be carried out. Backfilling of pipe surround shall be conducted. Reinstatement of backfill above pipe sound material shall be conducted. Site test laboratory shall conduct field density test. Inlet and outlet chambers of crossing shall be constructed. Refer to method statement for chambers. This procedure shall be similarly followed in principle for all other culverts, crossings on excavators, dump trucks, compactors. So this was points of this. This is about points that are, I can say 50 points here. I have to understand these points very clearly. Very clearly, these points must be understood, because it's not no joke. You can see route of culvert range, setting, then existing services, then cables, then traffic diversion, then concrete barriers, then ditch along sides of diversion, barricade, excavation, trench, excavation with machines, materials to be used, excavated, expelled, to be deposited to area, damage to existing asphalt, side excavation. Better a little look on this. 5 minutes, just a minute please. Just 5 minutes look please, so that you understand well. It's at points actually, certain points which you can read very well. I just refer to you for reading, and I'll give another reading. It's better. Just to little take 5 minutes to read this. It's good for everybody. Just read, please. Give me a chance to let me read. Most important points must be well understood. So you might have seen that what happens. You might have read that. Must have gone through this. Must have gone through this and gone through that. It's a very important point. You must have gone through that. And I think that we should move on further. These are points which I said in discuss 17, which was the root of culverts, etc. up to all this. And here too, all this we will repeat it, no problem. Now we'll go to excavation, operating authority control areas. Operating authority control areas, and we have to see how it works. Index in scope is different, and that is method statement to define methodology that shall be implemented for construction activity, and it shall be can it move this construction activities which may be conducted in areas under designated operating authorities control. These areas shall primarily be easement and titled statutorily meant for use by all services incoming and outgoing in relation to certain facility. So methodology that shall be implemented for construction activities which may be conducted in areas under designated operating authorities control. These areas shall primarily be easement entitled authority statutory meant for use by all services incoming and outgoing in relation to certain facility. And these documents being operating authority easement drawings, EPC contracts project drawings, and EPC contract project specifications. And designations are same, responsibilities are same. Some added responsibilities I speak is that although means survey shall accurately plot and record all as-built marks, that's okay. Surveyor shall accurately plot and record all as-built marks respecting bedding, piping, asphalt, finished ground. SC and SO, site engineer and safety official, ensure that traffic diversion works well from safety viewpoint. Site engineer shall ensure that excavation is rightly carried out in all respects in line to drawings and specifications and in compliance with all safety procedures. So safety officers shall ensure that excavations are safely carried out. Safety officers shall ensure that equipment operators comply with safe procedures. Safety officers shall ensure that vehicles on the highway are not impeded from smooth movement. Project site manager shall ensure regarding work involving highways, police or concerned authorities being informed in time for assisting controls. And the validity of permit is valid if the permit is in force until involved works are completed. Prior to commencement of start card and all that safety issues we have, nothing different in that. Wherever possible hazards may arise from excavations, activities, necessary safety measures will be adopted. This is all same. Traffic is required to be diverted. Okay, it's okay, fine. Diverted for requirement to cross some roads. Permit to work shall be obtained. Scanning of services, safety supervision. Same, nothing different in that. Telephone numbers. So it says, let's go to work permits we have. Now method is sketch 20. I'll show you this sketch and then take it some other way. I building plans. I think I should close this sketch now. This one I close and I bring sketch number 20. I think it is 20, right? I think it is 20. Oh no, so not 20. Let me see if it's 20. Let me see from here. Oh, it was 17, not 20. 17. 17. So let me see sketch number 20. That's a long. I show you only one, not to do that much. General records and storage. And this is sketch number. Storage and management. We go to management. This is a different sketch. So this is a whole site sketch. You have seen many times. This sketch. So it's whole site sketch. You can see this one. It's for all site showing what to do with that. So construction manager shall assign all this. You can say. So a copy, this is about excavation. This is excavation work permit. A copy of work permit shall be posted on mini road, which we had done before. And all the barricades, cones, markers, night light, floodlight, etc. shall be done. Now sketch 20 what says, construction manager shall assign engineer. Construction manager shall assign an engineer and construction foreman to be responsible for relevant activities. Engineer shall be responsible for producing a detailed method statement for activities to be carried out. This method statement shall contain procedure defined required below, which is, all procedures for work permit shall be complied with, such as submission of traffic, diversion scheme, including all details about on-site management while diverting traffic during ongoing works. When method statement has been agreed with EPC contractor, operator authorities, a work permit covering work activities within area of work shall be obtained from operating authority and duly registered into work permit log. Permit shall be obtained for confined space, non-confined space, works on busy roads, etc. Work area shall be surveyed to establish existing services. Location using operating authority, easement, drawings and cable detectors. These services shall be exposed by hand-dug, manually excavated trenches along route where existing services may cross route of proposed work activity. Adequate protection and warning of that existing services shall be provided. Method of excavation for work activity shall be defined upon work permit. Where mechanical methods are accepted, embankment shall be deployed with all mechanical excavation equipment to check for all existing services and devise operator of excavation machine. Excavated material where possible shall be stockpiled in a controlled area. Location. Unsuitable material shall be removed from site to spoil area immediately. Where soil conditions indicate, sides of trench shall be sloped to avoid subsidence. During work activities, site shall be kept clean and tidy without causing any obstruction to site circulation. Civil contractor department shall conduct required inspection and tests design. Upon completion of work activity, all rubbish shall be removed from work site. Easement area shall be left well graded to satisfaction of operating authority. Equipment, cable, scanner, dump trucks, excavators as applicable, compactors, checklist are assigned. Then we will move further. This is just the rough statement I have given today for this method statement. We'll take care of this next time in details. Study and Standards Act, operating area excavation. Meanwhile, operating area of seen is all is operating area here. And I'll close this also now. And this was quality is required here, quality method statements, which is taken care of. And now I like to thank you all because it closes now, so 2 hours 45 minutes in this. It's not going to work anymore. Means already Okay, no problem. We'll take some time on this. And it's I like to take this. Also, buildings plans I closed because I did not say anything on this today. So, what do you say? We've gone through some statements already, and this way very well to understand regime of site design, how site design works. That is very important point you have to be clear with. I'll take your leave now. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I could go to 3 hours also, 15 minutes, no problems. This is some of the time to do. Everything is not possible in one day. 14 minutes, so it doesn't look nice if I continue because I have to speak a lot in this. I don't understand a lot issues quality, and if you follow like this, I send these math statements. It's general, not it's not exactly what you have to do. What you do in sites and building sites, all the plants where you work in your profession or somewhere else. You must be aware of all this. It's just a standard I'm giving. It's not giving something particular. This is standard to follow and understand. That's a very important point. If you can't do that, it's fine. This is method statements of quality related, and without this, you should not know. You should write something. You should decide something in advance. What you're going to do. That's a very important point. If you decide something in advance, what you're going to do, that will help you. That will help your work to make you more smart in engineering. And engineering is not simply engineering. It's complete management. It's complete organization. Engineering is filled with management. There's no need learning any management. You've got complete concept of engineering in your mind, which is an important point. Each and every recruit should be given value. It's not simply how we'll take care later and we know. No, not according to required, pre-required RC. What requirements are there? It's just like safety issues, quality issues, construction issues, all issues. Legal issues could be there also. All this must be kept in view while working with that. So quality means it requires imports all attention from everywhere. That's what we have to do. It's really inspiring if you understand that. So we have to take care of all this. Is an important point. Should not miss it. I think it's done.